Hello, this is Linda of Christ is King Forever. I wanted to talk today about Peter's name. His name means pebble. Well, Simon Peter. His name means pebble. And I want to talk today about his first name, or the name he had originally, which means he has heard. This is what Simon means. Simon means he has heard, and Peter means pebble. So in Matthew 16, verses 13 through 20, you can read, and this summarizes it all, the whole thing. Peter declares that Jesus is the Messiah. It does not say, Jesus declares that Peter is the rock. It doesn't say that. What it says is, Peter declares that Jesus is Messiah. And here it says, Simon Peter answered, after Jesus said, "Who do you say I am?" Simon Peter answered, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." Jesus, this is Matthew 16:17. Jesus replied, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Noah, for this was not revealed to you by the flesh and blood, but by my Father who is in heaven," because it's a supernatural thing that's happening. "And I tell you that you are Peter," which means pebble, "and on this rock," which was revealed to Peter by the Father. This is the rock of the foundation of all of our belief systems here, is that Jesus is Messiah, the Son of the living God. "Upon this rock I will build my church," not upon a person who's flawed, not upon a new king, because we all know that's where Israel went wrong originally. They needed a king. We need a king. We need a king. We need a king. We can't just obey you, God. We need a king. We need a king. Right? So why would he come down to establish his kingdom to be able to rule over the rest of the universe from wherever he sits, but not over earth? No. He needs Peter to be the successor. That's a lie. Okay, that is a lie. Peter does not need to be a successor, doesn't need to be sitting here while Jesus is in heaven. Well, he's the one I'm going to give the Holy Spirit to. Nobody else is going to get it, just him. And I'll rule over Peter, and all the successors will get the Holy Spirit, but nobody else. Jesus gave us all the Holy Spirit, not just Peter. Okay, and I feel bad that Peter was put in this position. I really do think this really dishonors Peter as a person who, I don't know how well any of us would have done living out this time. I don't think I would have done very well. Um, but upon this rock, which is Jesus is Messiah, the Son of the living God, I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not overcome it. I will give you, everybody who believes that he is Messiah, that's my side note there, I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loosen on earth will be loosened on heaven, if it's in God's will, of course. And if you've ever loosened or bind in the Holy Spirit and seen confirmation, you know he's talking to you. Then he ordered his disciples not to tell anyone that he was Messiah. And then next he tells them that he's going to die, which is really shocking to them. Right? But if you look through that lens, through Christ, that Christophanies that happened in the Old Testament, you can totally see what's happening. You totally see that he's the lamb. So we don't need to buy lamb and slaughter a lamb and make the sacrifices and go to the temple, because he already did it for us. And his sacrifice was so perfect, we don't need it to be repeated, because he was innocent. He was innocent. He lived, he died an innocent man. He never once sinned, not once. So I have a video down below where it actually, people go on record, and it said, I'll probably timestamp it, that the place of king was left to Peter to inherit. And I'm not in line to rebuke directly. I think this has already happened many a times over. And the greatest of saints of old, uh, this particular church didn't like them. Padre Pio was victimized by them. They didn't like him. They like him now, but they didn't like him then. And so it's probably one of those marks. If you're somebody who understands and sees the church for this particular church for what it is, you're in good company. Okay, so anyhow, it's clear what the statement is saying. It's clear the rock of the foundation is that Jesus is Messiah, and he is the Son of the living God, and this has very little, if nothing but a name change to do with Peter. And it's almost like because his name is Peter, which means pebble, there's a difference between a rock and a pebble. I'm sorry. If I say I got a pebble in my house, you think it's in a fish tank. If I say I got a rock, you're wondering how big it is, right? So anyway, I'm Linda of Christ is King Forever because you know what? Christ is King forever. I've been given, one drum and one little stick to hit it with, and it sounds repetitive, but boy, does it peel away at a lot of things. It's incredible how many things Christ is King forever, Yeshua is King forever, peels away at, and how much it annoys people. I mean, it gets under my skin when I realize I'm watching a video where somebody's claiming a kingship in Jesus's place. That's so it's just so offensive. Anyway, I'm Linda of Christ is King forever. May God be with you.